Dear friends, welcome back to Automate with Rakesh. In this video, we are going to learn about creating a new dashboard. For this, I'm going to click on Create New Dashboard. The moment you create, it is going to get added under My Dashboard section. So why delay? Let's click on Create New Dashboard and let me select Create New Dashboard option. Let's give it a name. For example, my first dashboard. I'm going to hit on Save. Give it a few seconds. All right. Now, if you see, the dashboard is getting created and you got the title here. Now here, the dashboard is empty. All I have to do, click on Edit Dashboard. The dashboard is empty, add. So here you can either use this option or go with this option on the top. I'm going to click on Add. And here there are multiple different options available. Text, Markdown, Button, Visualization. We'll get into this section slightly later. Right now, let's understand the rest of the three options. For example, if I go with text, this is how it will appear. So here you have option to write certain text. Now let's use the second option, add markdown. Here I can give a title and use a subtitle and write something in the body. So this would be easily created based on the need. You would like to have some text, you would like to have something like this, you can always do this. So this is the body, this is the subtitle, this is the title. So these two options you have learned. Now the next thing is button. Now this button has a feature. For example, here I will say okay, and let me put some URL. This button you can use for very specific documents or something you would like to open. Okay, so once again, let me select. I did not save it. Edit, and I will write a name or any kind of a document you would like to open. Paste the link, open a new browser. You can put a description, save it. Now, what would happen by this? The moment you click on it, the specific URL, it could be a document link or anything that you have provided, it is going to automatically open for you. So here I have simply put Academy URL for testing purpose, and you can see how this one is working. All right, so these three options, text, markdown, button, are quite simple. Now the important one is visualization. Let's say once you have created, you would like to delete this. So once you save, this is how it is going to appear on your dashboard. Now here you will not have option to delete. For you to delete, you have to click on three dots and edit dashboard. And after that, you will get an option to delete. Let's say I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. This is how you can remove them. Next thing, the important one is the visualization. This is very important. Let me going to teach you how do you really use it. For this, I'm going to click on visualization. And this is the Explorer window that you would get. Okay. Now here you have got two options. I see UiPath Insights, UiPath Insights for the entire org scope. Now let me start with, for example, jobs. I'm going to click on jobs. Okay. So I would like to build a dashboard where I would be knowing the job status. Okay. I would like to know the job status. Now, one thing before you get started, one thing you need to look at is the left side panel. Okay, this left side panel, if you could see my screen now, the left side panel has got all these options. You have an option to create your own custom fields, or you can utilize already the available options. For example, jobs, process, robot logs, these are the options that you have. As a beginner, you may not understand or might get confused with these options on the left side. To make it easy, the very first thing my recommendation is click on the jobs. And here, these are various different fields that you see it here. Okay, for example, let's start with the creation date. Okay, you need to understand all these fields. Okay, all these fields that are available, you need to understand what they are. For example, if you see under the jobs, there is something called creation date. I'm going to expand the creation date and I'm going to select date. The moment you click once, remember this how it works. Okay, if I click once again, this is gone. If I click once again, it'll come. So it is only one time clicking. If you click double time, then nothing will happen. So be very careful while dealing with this left side panel. Click only once. Then what happens? You get this particular field added. Job creation date field is added. Now what I have to do, what exactly is this I would like to understand. So for that, all you have to do simply run it. Okay, so what it is doing, it is pulling the job creation dates on different dates that the job was created on Orchestrator. Okay, so I feel this field you have understood. Now let's click on something interesting. For example, these are all different fields. For example, I'm going to click on process name. I'm going to click once. So if you click once, this is how it'll get a highlight. So if you see the job process name is here, I'm going to run it. Now what happened? You got all the different jobs that you have created in the past, and it is going to show you, okay, on what date you have created, right? What date have you created? It is going to show you. For example, I want this to come this side. So let me drag this side. Very easy, like you do on Excel. Now let me run it. So you can see it is all aligned now. Your process names is there on the left side and you have the job creation date on the right side. So these are the data based on different columns you are entering. It is going to give you the data the moment you run it. So I can see this job was created on this date, this job. So with the same name, right? Process could be good morning. This is the process name. But I might have created jobs in multiple times, or you might have multiple schedules. So it is going to show you all of those. Now after this, if you go slightly on the top, this is called visualization. So first thing, how can you visualize the data? So this is the data inputs. Okay, you are providing your columns, and here on the top you would see that as an output. So what are these options? For example, the first option, if I click, this is a table option. So it is a simple like an Excel table, right? It is giving you all the process names with the creation dates. Now let me click on this column option. This is a bar graph. If I click on this bar graph icon, what happens? Now it tells me, okay, these are the different automations and these are the months where you have created those automations. Now you feel this graph is not appropriate. You would like to change the date to the left side and the process names to be here. It's up to you. However you like to visualize, you can always do it and simply run it. The moment I do, this is how it is appearing. So this is, I'm going to show you the actual use of these graphs slightly later. Right now, just understand how these columns are working. So what you have understood is the creation date. Okay, let me again put back the process name to the left and the creation date to the right. So this was created. The job was created at so and so time. Now you might be interested to get the entire time also. You also wanted to see the time. At what time on this date it was created. So click on time. So it gives you this. Let's say I'm not interested in creation date anymore because the creation time has got the date and time both. So I'm not interested in this column. So how will you remove it? Simply click on the date once again. So the date column is gone. Okay, now let's scroll down. Let's look at the end date when this was completed. The job was completed. So I'm going to again select the time field and let me run it. So the very first thing is understanding this values. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. So if you see the creation time I got, the end time I got. Okay, this time it was created 5:12 10 seconds, 5, 12, 35 seconds is got completed. 8 to 54 created, this is the time it got completed. 7:44 it was created, 7:46 this job completed running. Okay, data entry automation. So this is how these are different jobs and the start date, start time and end time I got it. Now what else you are interested on? Just scroll down. Let's say I would like to know on the machine, which machine it has run. So I'll click on this and I'm going to run it. Okay, click only once. Okay, if you click double click, then it will not come. Click only once. Okay, click only once and move your mouse, it should stay highlighted. Now let me run it. So now you can see this is the host machine where it ran. Now let's say job duration in seconds, how many seconds it has taken. So click on this, run it. Okay, so it also tells you in seconds. It ran for 3 seconds. This one ran for 4 seconds. This ran for 10 seconds. This ran for 50 seconds. So all the seconds also I would get. These are very valuable fields, very important fields for you to understand things in detail. So this ran for 137 seconds. Getting it? Okay. Now let's scroll down. Okay. Let's say I would like to know the robot name, where it ran. So click on this and run it again. So the very first thing I would be recommending is to understand all of these fields one by one. So if you see this data, it also tells me the robot names, okay, different robot names that we have. So like that, there are multiple such fields. For example, I would like to know the status. Okay, I would like to know faulted jobs, faulted process ran, how many times I want to know. I would like to know the status. So let me go with success rate or successful jobs. Let me go with this. Run it. Okay, so here you would also have, if you slightly go to the right, there's a very small button available here. Successful jobs run 1111 time. So it gives you all different things. Now the other option you can also use is the search option. Okay. Okay, so there is something called job state. For example, I would like to know whether it has faulted, it was successful. There is something called job state. So let me click on this once, run it again. And you can see all these options you have got. It ran successful. Okay, it faulted here, right? If it is faulted, the job successful count is 0. So all this kind of options you have got. Now, as you have understood, various different fields of jobs, right? You have seen a lot many fields of the jobs. Now there will be a question. You would like to immediately remove certain columns. Let's say there are so many things I don't want to see. I just want to see process name. I just want to see the status, the job state. That's all I want to see. So because you have already created with multiple columns, is there a way to quickly remove them? Okay, for that, all you do, go to the in use. I'm going to click on in use, and here it is going to show you all the different columns that you have used for this one. So what I will do, let's say I'm not interested in the creation date, simply click on this. It will remove. End date I'm not interested, remove. Host machine I'm not interested, remove. Job duration I'm not interested. Job state I'm interested. I am interested in process name, and robot name I'm not interested. Successful jobs I'm not interested. So I'm only interested in these two particular fields. Okay, and now I am not interested in 500 records. I'm interested only, let's say, the top 5. So I'll simply say 5 here. The moment you do 5 and run it, what is going to happen? Row limit reached. It is only going to show you the 5 records, and here you have them. So now you got an understanding of how this dashboard is created and what are the different columns. Now let's get into real business. Let's do something interesting. Now for this, let me cancel. And what I'm going to show you, let me go back to Insights. So last time we have created a process template, right? We have used a process template. Let me open that. Now here, let me select year to date and wait for the refresh to complete. Okay, let me refresh it again. Okay, so now you see there is a graph, something like that, it is created. We'll create a similar one, not exactly the same one, but a similar graph I would like to create, where it shows top 10 processes by run and status. What it says, top 10 processes by run and status, and this is how I would like to know. Now, for any dashboard that are present in the template, you would like to understand how this was built. For this, you will click on these three dots and you are going to click on explore from here. Click on this. This will bring you to that explorer window. Just now we were there, right, in the explorer window. And this gives you the details of what are the columns being used. For example, if you see the job state column is used, where it will say you faulted, stopped, successful. Okay, now the job process name is another field which is being used. If you click on in use, you'll be able to see them. And then job process ran, how many times the successful, how many times the faulted. So there is a field called job process ran. So in total we'll be using how many fields? Job state 1, job process 2, job process run 3. So these are the three fields we will use, and we will try to create a graph something like this. So how will you do it? Let's go back. Let's go back to my first dashboard. Okay, wait for a second. Okay, this has come. Okay, I did not save after deleting, so let me again edit the dashboard. Let me delete all this. Delete, delete. Okay, and I'm going to hit on save. And now let's start. Edit dashboard, add, and visualization. Okay, so now I'm going to select UiPath Insights jobs. And here I'm going to use a couple of important fields. Now the very first field I'm going to use is the job state. Okay, in case you're not able to find it, simply type it here. Okay, so you got the job state, so click on this. So now what happened? This is the job state. And then what you're interested is, if you run this, for example, if you simply run this with one column, it will give you three different states, right? Faulted, stopped, successful. Now what I want the other thing is the process name, the job process name. So it is better you explore this if you're a beginner, just to get hold of all different columns. There is something called process display name. It will say jobs dot process display name, and there's something called process name. For example, I'll show you the difference. If you run this, it's exactly the same. Okay, now if you use this field also, process name, this is also exactly the same. Okay, so any one of them, let me use the process name. Okay, now what I want is this particular table, right? Job state. So this has to be in a pivot format, not in the plain format. So what I will do, click on this and I'm going to click on pivot. So the moment I do this, what happened? Now all the different job state has come on the top. If I'm going to run it again. Okay, so it is giving you the date on the top. The job state faulted, stopped, successful. It is all coming on the top. Now here the process names are coming, but these values are blank. Now for this, the next field that I would be interested is process ran. Okay, so job ran, just type ran. Okay, there is something called process ran under the jobs. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to run it. So now if you see, It is giving the count, Acme smoke testing as a process. Okay, what happened to this? This has faulted 2 times, stopped 6 times, successful 22 times. So this gives you a history of different processes, jobs, and then their statuses. These are the null values. So that means automation project 1 never faulted, never stopped, successfully ran 6 times. That is the meaning. So you got this. Now let's come slightly up and look at this graph. Now I don't want all the 500 records. I would like to limit it. So let's say I would like to limit it to 10, for example. I would like to see the top 10, top 20, whatever it is. Simply run this. Now if you run it, look at the graph, how it is changing. Let me make it to 5, for example. Run it. So this is the visualization. So here you have the data on the bottom. Here you get the visualization. Now look at this graph. What it's showing, the top 5 processes. So here I will say top 5 jobs status. Something like that. And here if you see, it gives me the process names, Acme smoke testing, automation project, all this. And here it is saying this has faulted 2 times, this has stopped 6 times, this is successful 22 times. And for all of this is how the data is. If I make it to 10 and run it, this will add 10 more. So if you see, this is how the graph is coming. Okay, so based on your need, you can always customize them. Now let me save this. So save from here. And this is how you will get. Now you also have an option to expand the graph as you like. Getting it? So this is how you can do it. Let's say I'm not happy with this. Let's go back. Select this, edit, and I would like to go to data section and let me change it to 5, for example, and run it. Okay, now I'm happy with this graph. So there is another option here. Click on this and you can also save to an existing dashboard as a new dashboard. This is also an option. So save to an existing dashboard. And here I would be selecting my first dashboard. The selected visualization column, my folder, because it's already part of something. Add to dashboard in this folder. So this also will give you an option in case you don't see an option here. This is the another option you can use. But for the moment, let me hit on save because I'm editing from here. Now this has come and this is how the graph is appearing. Looking quite interesting, right? So today you have learned the very first basic ones of how do you create your own dashboard. In the upcoming videos, we'll come with more such contents which will help you to slowly build up the concepts and understand how you can deal with UiPath Insights. I hope this video is useful. If so, please do leave a comment and do give a like to this content. Thank you guys. Let's meet once again in our next video.